Hey everyone, it's Kevin Jones with Life, Mind, and Money. I want to first say a happy Memorial Day to all of you. I know we would all be out there doing our normal activities, maybe camping and being outside. It's just certainly not the case this round, but hopefully you're around your loved ones and enjoying your weekend. Now today's version, we're going to go into the stimulus debit card. We've talked about this before, but there's some warnings out there that you need to be on the look for and exactly what it says on the letter so that you know that it's legit. Also, we're going to be addressing what Mark Cuban had brought up before about a new stimulus as it's gaining some traction on the internet and some Congress people. And then lastly, we will address another package out there that's kind of a stimulus, but it's a training idea that's brought up in the Senate to actually bring you some tools and money to actually get you trained in other areas. So we're going to get all into this, so let's begin. As always, Life, Mind, and Money is here to help you along the way. So if you haven't done so, please hit that subscribe button. Also, please check out all the variety of videos that are out there as you see on the screen. I would highly encourage you. And then also, if you haven't done so, please smash that like button, as I appreciate you taking on the YouTube algorithm with me. So let's begin, sheets in hand. So here are the things that you need to know today. The first thing is addressing the stimulus debit card. Now, we have addressed this before in a previous video last week about how it's coming out. It's going to affect about 4 million people, and those are just starting to come out the door. But what we've learned is that there's been some reporting about some scammers out there. So what I want to address is exactly if you get a piece of mail that just doesn't look familiar to you, then you need to know exactly what it is supposed to say on there so that you know it's legit. So when you receive a piece of mail, if you know you're getting a debit card, what it should say on there on the envelope is Money Network Cardholder Services. And in it, there will be a letter directly from the Department of the Treasury with a seal on it. And the debit card will be attached inside. So just keep in mind that it's going to look a little funny. It's not going to have a government seal on the outside. You're looking for Money Network Cardholder Services. So once you find that, you want to be careful to kind of go through it and make sure everything looks legit, because there's been reports from specifically from the Iowa's Attorney General that they've been getting a lot of calls about these cards starting to arrive at people's door boxes, and they're fearful that scammers will take advantage of this situation and try to take that money. Now, they always come ways to find out funny ways of finding these things. So just remember that there's a way for you to verify it, that on the letter itself, there will be a link that will take you to the IRS website. And then from there, you'll see that your full stimulus payment is in it. And you have the ability to not even use your debit card, but you can transfer the money from the debit card to your bank account through this website. So that will eliminate any issues with the debit card at all. So that's a secondary measure that you can take place. So just remember, be on the lookout if it's coming your way, and look for those wordage that we just discussed to make sure you take full advantage of that stimulus check. Okay, so switching gears here. We've talked about Mark Cuban, and he has been trying to propose a lot of different things out on his social media. And one in particular we've talked about is actually really gaining steam. And I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. So what he first talked about that PPP was a great idea, but it just didn't fully execute because it was difficult, and he puts no blame on that. I mean, think about it, you're trying to boost up the small businesses by giving them money directly. But what he's coming from is more of a trickle-up idea that you want to provide money directly to the consumer to use at those small businesses or lose it. So what we're talking about here is an idea that every 2 weeks, each American gets $1,000. But the caveat, you get 10 days to use that money or you lose it. Now, I don't know how the government will track this. This would be an absolute logistical nightmare. But if you could figure a way to do this, I could see this really stimulating businesses quickly. And he only wants to do this over a 2-month period, which would cost about $500 billion. Now, that would be quite an effective stimulus considering the fact that we've already spent $3 trillion on all these other stimuluses, which are having some effect, and we don't know what the end game of all that is, but he's talking about 1/6 of all that to really provide money directly, or it comes right back to the government because you decided not to use it. Interesting idea that you can't actually save this money. Now, I don't know, once again, how the government would do this, but with the steam it's picking up publicly, and a couple of people in Congress are taking notice to it, once again, I think this would take a lot of time to put together, and would that be effective? I'm not sure. So, what I'm curious about is, what's your thought on this? Leave your comments below about how you think this would work. Do you think this is a good idea that if you were given stimulus money and you had to use it within 10 days to really boost the economy, would you be on board? Please leave your comments below. Now, my last item for today is talking about something we addressed at the end of last week, and that is another idea out there that's being deemed a stimulus, but it really is not, and that is talking about a training credit. So the Senate, a couple of Democratic senators have brought up the idea of providing a $4,000 tax credit for you to go get training in something you haven't done before. So this could be anywhere from going to a school, to going getting some kind of certificate, to online education. I mean, there are so many different education tools and certifications out there now that you could use this money, this tax credit, to go get certified in something that you haven't done before that will make you better in the job force. Something that you could come back, so when these jobs do come back, you'll be able to better train to go get a job in those areas. Now, what's interesting about an update from the last time we reported on this is that now there are 2 Republican senators who are supporting this initiative as well. So that is the first time that I've heard of an idea out there in terms of a 4th round of stimulus that actually has a little bit of bipartisan support. Frankly, I think that is a great thing. We need more bipartisan support in everything we do here, and we need both groups to be working together. As we talked about, we believe that a second stimulus check will be coming, but that will only happen when both sides work together, and we hope that it happens soon and start figuring out how we're going to move this nation forward. So, those are my comments today. If you haven't already done so, please smash that like button. I appreciate everybody watching. Have a wonderful Memorial Day. If you haven't done so also, please hit that subscribe button. I'm going to continue to provide updates to you and give you the information you need as we get through these times. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.